For C3 Metals, the elevator pitch is we have 2 district-scale properties, one in Peru and one in Jamaica. We feel we're getting valued for the first maiden resource we put out on the first of over 15 targets in Peru. We have a 30 million market cap. We think we're getting nothing for Jamaica, and we're currently drilling in Jamaica 8,500 meters right now, so we think we have a lot of value we can add in the near term with this program. In Peru, we started with 57 square kilometers or 5,700 hectares. We've since grown that over 30,000 hectares, 300 square kilometers. We're just 35 kilometers north of Hudbay's operating Costanza mine, 40 kilometers east of MMG's Labumbas mine. You have First Quantum's Hera development project that's going to be a mine someday when you look at the tons and grade there. Rio Tinto and BHP have come in all to the west of us with what we're doing. So we're absolutely in the right district. And we've put the first resource out, and we're currently modifying a drill permit to get after the next couple targets there. In Jamaica, we have 20,000 hectares or 200 square kilometers in the center of the island where there's a fault system that bisects the island in Jamaica. And a lot of people don't realize this, but it's the same geology that runs all through the Caribbean with the deposits you see in Cuba and Haiti and Dominican Republic, Pueblo Viejo, obviously the big one, producing over 1 million ounces of gold a year, as well as Puerto Rico. We've identified 16 porphyry and 40 epithermal prospects over a 30-kilometer strike extent in Jamaica, and we just kicked off a drill program. We had our first results out here this week. You know, it's been one of the best places I've ever worked, and I've been involved in projects all over the world. Jamaica, a lot of people don't realize, is mining's the #2 industry in the country. There's over a 70-year history of bauxite mining in Jamaica. At one point, Jamaica was the #1 exporter of bauxite, which is a key mineral used in the production of aluminum. There's an aluminum refinery on the island of Jamaica. So actually, there's over 150 open pits in Jamaica today. There was the most modern day mine. There was mining during the colonial eras, both in the 1600s with the Spanish and 1800s with the British, but there was a modern day gold mine that was put in production in the early 2000s. It was a small mine, ran for a couple years, small tonnage, 73,000 tons, 1 epithermal vein, but it was running 21 grams per ton. So we actually surround that mine on 3 sides that we've identified along this 30-kilometer strike extent. Our focus right now is on gold-rich copper gold porphyries, where we're drilling into the tops of these porphyries where you've had 220 meters average drill depth, 40% of the holes ending in ore-grade mineralization. We tend to test both the strike and depth extent of this. The government has been extremely supportive. They're actually looking at the bauxite industry and saying, you know, even though it has decades in front of it, they've gone from #1 to #6 in the world for a producer of bauxite, and saying, where's that revenue generating going to come from down the road? So they are massively promoting foreign investment into copper gold type projects and metallic minerals in the country. So in Peru, we've slowed down a little bit as we're focused on some of the community initiatives, as well as we need drill permits for other areas on our property. Because we've grown our property over 400% in 2 years, we're working to permit new areas and working with new communities in Peru. So that's really our focus there right now. In Jamaica, we are active. We announced a program, just kicked off last month in August. It's an 8,500 meter program. We've drilled about the first 1,600 meters of that program and announced the first 500 meters of assays. So between now and the end of January, we'll have 8,000 meters of assays coming out, and we're in strong copper gold mineralization with our initial results. I think the biggest catalyst for us is going to be what we're doing right now in Jamaica as people see what we're doing. You know, we announced the results of 286 meters of 0.7 copper, 0.21 gold, and within that was higher grade 192 meters of 0.45 copper and 0.27 gold, which is 0.64 copper equivalent, and it started at only 64 meters below surface. A lot of times when you're seeing 0.6, 0.7 copper equivalent these days, it's starting several hundred meters below surface. So we know we're onto something. We have 10 kilometers of alteration and copper in soils at surface, and we're just getting going. So one of our benefits that I think we provide is we have very cheap drilling costs, because we actually purchased one of the 2 rigs we're drilling with. We've purchased it. We're on our 4th hole with this rig, and to date our direct drill costs $40 a meter Canadian, all in with assays $150 a meter Canadian, which is about a third for most people for diamond drill core drilling. So that's we have all these targets in front of us. we're getting going. We're going to have a steady flow now, I think every 2 to 3 weeks with assay results through the end of this program. And the goal is just to, based on results of course, but we just want to extend the program and potentially expand it, because now that we see how inexpensively we can produce results, if we pick up 2 more of these drill rigs, which the total capital cost for this was $20,000 Canadian for the rigs, the drill rods, and the mobilization to Jamaica. If we pick up 2 more of these things, we think next year we could pump out 30,000 meters of results across a 10-kilometer trend of mineralization. My background's financial in nature. Started my career, first job at university was with an investor relations firm, so I'm very passionate about investor relations and actually all stakeholder relations and communication. From there, I went to work with the company Remarco Minerals. We picked up a project in South Carolina. Everyone thought we were crazy at the time, because what's mining in South Carolina? You know, you need to be in Nevada, you need to be in other places in the US. The stock was actually down when we picked up that asset. We were a little $20 million company. 7.5 years later, we delineated 4 million ounces, went through feasibility, permitting, raised the money to build it. We were 6 months into construction when we were acquired for $856 million. So that was a good win for everyone involved. Went from there to wanted to work for an operating company and see what that was all about. Joined Argonaut Gold. At the time we had 2 operating mines. That company is now operating 5 mines, 3 in Mexico, 1 in Nevada, 1 in Ontario. So gained that experience, and through that the board of C3 solicited me for this role. I joined a year ago, and now I'm back in the exploration game and looking to build tons and pounds of copper and gold ounces in the ground. Yeah, you know, I think that I may be the CEO, but the most important role for a company this size, I have no ego about it, the most important role is the VP Exploration role for this company. And our VP Exploration is really my partner in business. I handle the capital markets, stakeholder, government relations, community relations, stakeholders, shareholders. He's running the whole technical program. And Steve Hughes, he spent over 25 years in Indonesia, half of it at the largest copper gold mine in the world at Grasberg with Freeport. During his career, over 14 projects, he's delineated or discovered 34 billion pounds of copper, 47 million ounces of gold in 25 years and 14 projects. So the track record's there. The track record's there with our board. We've been serial value creators in this industry, and we're looking to do it again.